Occasionally, you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781 837 4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And good morning to all my South Shore neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara. You are, of course, listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable here on Saturday morning. And I have a guest in the house with me. Melissa is off this morning, so hopefully she's enjoying, I don't know, a little bit of a rainy day, maybe sleeping in a little bit. And we also have Tim is out today, so we have Paul in the studio. Hello, Paul.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm well today. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
You know what? Any better? I think I'd be on vacation. I'm only saying that because I'm hopefully going on vacation next week. So
okay.
Take a couple days off just for the holiday and everything. So I also have someone special in the house with me today. I have a beautiful young lady sitting next to me. So if you're on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff, you can see us. We're live, and she'll say hi. This is Liv Schneider. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So, Liv, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you and the reason why you had reached out to me at the beginning of the season, when you got out of school. So you're going to be a senior in Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yes.
University of Tennessee.
Yeah, University of Tennessee. So tell everybody a little bit about you. I'm just going to make one adjustment.
So I will be a rising senior at the University of Tennessee. I was born and raised in Pembroke, so hence my connection to Sharon. What am I studying? Oh, I'm studying marketing.
Yep.
With a focus in digital and visual marketing with a collateral and human resource management.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so I'm super excited. So Liv reached out to me and at the beginning, right when you were getting out of school, I guess it was, and asked, hey, I'd love to learn more about real estate, and, I'd love to, sort of shadow me or intern or do some stuff around the office. Ultimately, I was really looking forward to that opportunity, but then ultimately it sort of fell in line with everything that was going on with my dad. Our listeners know all about my personal life, Liv, so I'm just an open book. So it just wasn't going to be fair to you for me to take you on because I knew I wouldn't be able to, sort of mentor you in the proper way. So I did reach out to a couple of my friends in the industry. So you were able to do a couple of things with some other people, which turned out nice. But then I had this project that I wanted to do and I just didn't have time. And I was just like, this might be a nice thing for Liv to do. But the more exciting part is to bring you here on the radio.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy that I was the person you thought of for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're going to talk about today is stars, stripes, and the South Shore. And I brought it into the islands as well. That was sort of a last minute decision for me last night because, as our listeners also know, I am very fond of Martha's Vineyard in Eggertown in particular. Everybody knows we have a boat. Sometimes I do the show from the boat.
Ooh.
Yeah. So when I'm out on the boat, I'm bopping around, and when I'm on live, people can see me out there. It's a lot of fun. It's our floating cottage. So I really enjoy doing that. And every year it's my favorite thing to do. And that's what I'm going to sort of ask our audience to interact. I don't know if it's going to be too early for people to, be up. And maybe if people are out running around doing some things, it's sort of a yucky day. So maybe we'll get some listeners today, but we'll ask Paul. I'm going to ask you, maybe if your mom is listening, maybe she'll call in.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Not too sure if she's up though.
Oh, no. And maybe May, I'm hoping maybe May will stop by, or maybe she can call in. But we're going to be talking about just all fun things. Again, it's nothing today is going to really do with real estate, of course, unless you, as our listeners, have some questions for me about real estate. I'm happy to answer those questions as well. Sometimes I love to answer questions that are sort of not about my topic and not sort of, pre-put together, you know what I mean, as a package. Hey, just ask me anything about real estate. I'm happy to answer. And you can call Paul at the studio, 781-837-4900. Again, 781, oh, just got a frog. 781-837-4900. Paul is at the studio. If you have any questions about real estate, let me know. But I'd also love to know and just talk to you like, hey, let's just chill at my round table here this morning as you're drinking your coffee. What are some of the things that you remember maybe growing up, or what are your favorite things now to do for 4th of July and for summer festivities? Sound good?
That sounds a great question.
It's a really good question. Again, that phone number is 781-837-4900. So Paul, I'm just going to start with you. Hey, my friend, let me ask you, like, what does 4th of July mean to you? Like, do you think like hot dogs and fireworks, or do you just think I just want to like lay on the beach, or something else?
I think over the years that has changed for me. So when I was younger, I would think, I don't want to go outside right now. It's too hot. I want to relax. But now it's all about, a time to get together with the family. We'll grill up some hamburgers and hot dogs. We'll connect with each other, especially the family members that you can't see all the time, that you need those special holidays to see.
That is such a valid point, Paul. It is. I remember like growing up and everything like that. Well, I grew up in Dorchester, and it was always very community based, right? Like, so you were always interacting with people. And I did actually a blog on this in about 2009, I believe it was, where social media began at the corner. Like, what corner are you hanging out at, Liv? You would probably have no idea what that even means, but like it didn't
Past my
mean
time.
yeah, didn't mean like I was hanging out on the corner in the combat zone. It was like everybody had a corner in the city. That would be fun if anybody is listening that has those days. You can tell me what corner you hung out on it back in Dorchester. But you always saw people. You were always interacting with people. The way that you found out what was going on in everyone's life and everything was by actually face to face communication. But now everything is social media. Look, I mean, you can get a whole degree on it, right? That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, like I don't even know because so many people use social media now.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I have the opportunity to learn more about it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And just
And
the technology of everything too.
yeah. Well, one of the things that's interesting for you too is this is what you grew up with. And I sort of feel bad for your generation. So my girls, Casey and Mackenzie, they're 29 and 30 now.
Hmm.
And they were part of it for sure. You know what I mean? Like the beginning stages of it. And they're into it and stuff right now. I mean, Casey's dog has a social media page, and
Yes, I see it
yeah,
often.
yeah,
Yep.
you do. Did you see that her dog gained 2 pounds being with me this weekend?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You
So
fatten him up.
she, well, it was her fault. She kept on eating Marley's food. But anyways, but I also think that what comes along with that is the fact that it was probably really hard when you were seeing, your friends being invited to things maybe you weren't invited to, or like, you know what I mean? Like you always know what
Yeah.
everybody else is doing,
I
right?
know me growing up, I struggled with that.
You
Being like,
did?
why wasn't I invited to this?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Because everything's posted on social media now.
and two, and again, we're going off track, but hey, that's what my show is. But do you believe with social media that a lot of what people are posting isn't really what's behind the lens, anyways?
Yes, 100%. Because you see these influencers and they post their lives on, say, TikTok, where you have
Yeah.
those short minute long videos.
Hmm.
But then you see other people like fans and they'll be like, they meet them in person. And they're like,
Mm,
they are not the same people you see online.
yeah.
Like they're actually really rude or they get annoyed very easily. But
Hmm.
then there's other people who are like, they're exactly how they put themselves on the internet as they are in real life.
Well, that could be good or bad. You know what I mean? Because if I was a
Hmm.
crankpot and I'm out there putting stuff out there, yeah. But I think that and I think that the images are too much to keep up to. I mean, honestly, like I
Yeah.
mean, here you are, you're a young, beautiful young lady, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I've always thought that you were beautiful,
Oh,
by the
thank
way,
you.
growing up. I honestly, I don't see ugly kids anymore. Like, because like
No.
you have all these like makeup videos and like how to dress and all this.
I see 13-year-olds and even my younger sister, her growing up. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't think I looked like that when I was
Yeah.
16
Yeah.
or
How old,
12.
how old's your sister now?
She turned 16 in February.
Yeah. Wow.
Hmm.
So it's eye opening, right?
I know she'll be a junior
Well,
in high school. I can't believe it.
yeah, it goes by fast.
I know.
But I do think that Paul made a really valid point about, the holidays and bringing it all together. And I think that that's really important. That's why, for me, I used to love doing things. We always took vacations with our girls because we've had a boat with them growing up. And at different times of our life, we sold certain boats while they were in college and stuff like that. But it was always 4th of July for us. And we would always go to McNamara, which is on Martha's Vineyard. Actually,
Hmm.
Mark and I were there last weekend. Excuse me. And it brought back so many memories just being there. And I remember like the kids like crabbing and like going fishing and Larson's and all those fun memories, right?
Yeah,
I wish the world was more like that where people didn't have so much to worry about. I mean, you guys
I
have so much
know.
to worry about. Um,
Of nothing.
yeah.
Worry about nothing.
Worry about nothing. Yeah. Well, and then you're going to be doing some fun stuff this summer too, and then back and doing your
Hmm.
senior year, and then back off and into the real world, right?
I don't even want to think about it. I can't believe it.
I know.
Like, I'm
I
gonna be an
remember when you
adult.
went.
I do too.
Yeah.
That was a rough year, but
Yeah.
we're back and better now.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll be adulting pretty soon. And then, would you think you'll go for like to grad school as well, or what will you do?
As of right now, no.
Yeah.
However, I've had a few people be like, you should probably look into it,
Yeah.
or at least be something that I should consider.
Yeah, and it's even once you land a job and stuff, sometimes these,
Yeah.
companies will help you with that next step as well. Matters how far and which direction you go, I guess, and what company.
Yeah.
So what was one of your favorite, what is your favorite thing to do either now? I was going to say when you grow up, but you're not all the way grown up yet, but like, what are some of your fondest memories of 4th of July and the holiday?
I
Or
feel
just maybe summer?
I feel like my family really bounced back and forth with what we did on the 4th of July. We
Mm-hmm.
never really had like a set thing. However, I feel like we would always go to Duxbury Beach. We'd get up
Mm,
really early in the morning. I would say like 5:30.
yeah.
We'd always stop at Mary Lou's, grab a coffee. I would
Yeah.
get a little Cookie Monster because I was like
Yeah.
6. And we'd just go with a bunch of family, spend the whole day at the beach, and then we'd normally end up at somebody's house for a
Mm-hmm.
nice little 4th of July barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes we'd stay later and watch the fireworks in Plymouth because
Mm-hmm.
I believe you can see the Plymouth fireworks from Duxbury Beach.
Yeah. Hmm. It is interesting too. I wonder what, like, as you're talking, and I'm thinking about, the whole thing about grilling. I guess because it's outside, but like
Mhm.
hamburgers and hot dogs, it's just so like, I don't know. It just seems very American, doesn't it?
It's
Oh,
something
it's so
about the small
patriotic.
traditions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul. Elaborate on that.
Just, sometimes it's the little things that for some reason are so memorable. You can do a big extravagant adventure, and then when you're looking back on your fond memories with parents or say grandparents that passed away, you'll remember,
Mm.
I remember when they took me to the beach and we just grabbed an ice cream. So I really vibe off what you guys are saying.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So those are the memories that I think as adults that we want to make for the younger people in our lives. So,
Yeah.
and Liv, you should be talking about me for the rest of your life since I'm bringing you onto the radio show. I'm kidding.
I'll brag about you
Yeah,
forever.
I don't need brags, but I'm trying to find us live on Facebook just in case anybody has any questions for us. You certainly can send us a message on Facebook. You can find me on Sharon Costa McNamara, Boston Connect, wherever you're watching us, Instagram and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to get into it a little bit, but I am trying to multitask. I'm very used to having Melissa with me, and she usually takes care of all of this stuff for me. So let's just see. Oops, oops, oops. And Paul will kill me if you can hear that. Okay, here we go. All right, I have one comment in here. See, I'm trying to multitask. Sorry. Up, D is watching. Okay, and the one comment was from me. So there we go. Um, Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's a live show, and that's why it seems very, very quiet. I don't know why. I mean, Melissa isn't really that loud, but it seems really quiet. All right,
Early
so
morning.
yes, exactly. So one of the things I just wanted to talk about was just the meaning behind the red, white, and blue. And when I was doing this last night, I was like, "Oh, Liv's going to think this is like history class," and she's going to be like, "Oh gosh, why are we talking about this?" But just a brief history of Independence Day, and if anybody has any of the traditions or anything that they want to discuss with us this morning, we'd love to have it. We have what we like to say open mics this morning, 781-837-4900. And obviously, 4th of July, what does that commemorate? July 4th, 1776, right?
Oh, goodness.
So it was the Declaration of Independence. And I was doing some history on this. This is one thing that I didn't know. How can I be 57 years old and didn't know this? So I'm going to out loud say my ignorance to this, that The vote for independence actually happened on July 2nd. The adoption of the final wording of on July 4th is the date that stuck. But it was
Hmm.
July 2nd. Yeah. And who was it? It was John Adams who thought that it would always be celebrated on July 2nd for when when the independence passed. But he was wrong. He was way wrong.
So it's
So
July
it
2nd.
was July 2nd. He thought that that would be 4th of July, but now it's 4th
Doesn't
of
have
July.
doesn't have a good ring to
It
it.
doesn't have a ring.
2nd of July.
The 2nd of July. What are you doing? I'm getting ready for the 4th of July is
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
doing.
it doesn't
Yeah.
fit.
So everything happened for a reason. Even like think
Exactly.
about it like 4th. I don't know, just the way you can see the F in the when it's written out, second just wouldn't have
4th.
gone. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just going to read some of this just that I have. So, from the beginning, celebration was part of the plan. The same year in Philadelphia, Americans marked the day with bonfires, bells ringing, public readings, and fireworks. And they say that the fireworks, part of it was because it actually reminded them of the boom and the bang of the cannons and things that were being, when they were in the
Oh,
war there. Yeah,
interesting.
isn't that interesting?
Didn't
Yeah,
know
I thought so
that.
too. Yeah. So, let me see. The other thing that I love about being here, one of the things I love about being in Massachusetts, and anytime you go away, and if you're ever traveling outside of the country, even when you were in Tennessee, right? Did
Yeah.
people ask where you're from? I doubt you say Pembroke, Massachusetts. Generally, you would just say Boston, right?
Yeah, I say Boston because no
Yeah.
one's gonna know Pembroke, Massachusetts, unless I meet someone from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Then I'll elaborate more.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I'm
Because
from
I'm
Boston.
from Boston.
And then they look
Exactly.
at me like I have 10 heads. And they're like, why are you down here? And I'm like, why are you down here?
Yeah. It's really southern, huh? Right down there.
Oh, I love it.
You do?
I love it. I love line dancing.
Yeah.
I love the southern school atmosphere. It's
Yeah.
huge. I love it. Everybody takes pride
Yeah.
to be a volunteer.
That's really fun too, because Mackenzie, my youngest, obviously, she
Mhm.
went to Clemson for
Yeah.
grad school, and she had that very same experience, a little bit different because she was there for grad school and
Yeah.
everything, but the pride there. And I went to my first college football game.
Oh, it's awesome, isn't it?
Oh my, well, it's
In
wild.
Death Valley.
Is that what it's called
Hmm.
at Clemson?
I believe so.
Yeah, and they touch that rock as
Yes.
they're like going down the hill and everything. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
crazy. Like they have a band, they have all that stuff. Yeah. But like, see, I wonder what traditions they do. Is 4th of July a big thing around there, or is it just a big thing around here? Paul, do you know?
I
Is
think it's
4th of
all over,
I think it is all over, but do you think we celebrate it the most? Because, I mean, let's be honest, it all really sort of started here.
quote unquote. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Plymouth.
Yeah.
So
I've
they
always
say.
wondered what the different teachings are across America. Like we hear a little bit about the Alamo up here, for example. Is that a lot of a bigger deal down south, closer to
Yeah.
Texas? Is the 4th of July more important to us? The Boston Tea Party more important to us, or is it the same all around? So yeah, it's really interesting when you think about those things.
Yeah, it is actually because
Mhm.
I'm wondering because as I'm reading some of my notes here, Massachusetts was the heart of it. Massachusetts played a central road in the path to independence, so everybody can thank us
Mhm.
for their independence, right?
You're welcome.
Yes, the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, where they were just the catalyst into the revolution. So Lexington and Concord, and I have to tell you, I'm like never been. I mean, it's so
To
close. I've
either
never,
one.
yeah, never been to either
I
one
don't
of
think
those
I have
places.
either,
Yeah, but
honestly.
those are the first battles of the Revolutionary War. And Boston continues to host one of the most iconic celebrations in the country with the Boston Pops and Fireworks Spectacular. Now, that, in my opinion, is just huge. No one has Keith Lockhart, no one has the Boston Pops. Mark and I do the Boston Pops we do the Christmas holiday pops every Christmas. It's awesome. And I have to tell you, one year we actually did do, we went in town, and I know that this is on your list that you put together for me. We went into Boston and to watch the fireworks and everything, and you have to get there early. There are so many people, you could like literally stand with your arms beside you, and it's like they could just lift you through,
Oh,
lift
I'd
you
hate
through.
that.
Yeah, me too. Never went again.
Oh,
But
I wouldn't.
some people like it, so that's why it's on our list.
Yeah, if you're
Uh,
gonna be squished into like
yeah,
sardines in a
yeah.
sardine can.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of people, a lot of fun, a lot of different things to do. I know when we get down to our list, we'll talk about that too. But one of the other things that we did one year is we took our boat and we went through the locks. So we went down and then we were on the Charles River, and we could hear the music and we could see the fireworks right above us. It was really, really amazing. We had to get there super early too. I remember the girls were
Mhm.
younger, and we rafted up with a bunch of other boats and we would jump in there.
That'd be the way to go.
Yeah, it
Watch
was
from the outside.
yeah, it was fun, but it was also crowded in there too. And it's, going through the locks seems like fun. It's almost like going through the canal. It's fun doing that once.
They probably all have the same idea as you did.
Exactly. Everybody did. Yeah. But local towns like Hingham and Plymouth and Edgartown on Martha's Vineyard have Independence Day, the traditions that go back over 100 years. And I was fascinated by this last night when I was doing it, and just thinking about it because I'll be in Edgartown for 4th of July, and they have a parade and they have everything. I have to be honest, I don't think that we've ever gone to the parade because we're usually just leaving the beach. So, but I did add that to our list as well. But Edgartown's first official parade was held in 1844.
Oh boy.
That's long, long time ago.
Like what, 200 years?
Yeah,
Roughly?
we need a calculator for
Close.
that, but
I can't
yeah,
do mental math right now.
yeah. So, but 4th of July is what now, Paul. This is on the vein of what you were saying. One of the things in my notes that I wrote is today, 4th of July, is a time for communities to come together in gratitude, celebration, and patriotic pride. So, and a lot of traditions,
Yeah,
right?
I like that. That puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, do you want to start in our list? I added this one last night. I'm not sure why they're doing it tonight, but they're doing it tonight.
It's kind of far out.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they couldn't do it next weekend, or they couldn't do it during
Mm.
the week, or maybe they like to do it on a Saturday. So, why don't we start with Halifax and you can tell people about all the details about that. Before you do that, though, I just want to remind our listeners you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Today has nothing to do with real estate. However, if you want to talk to me about real estate, I'm happy to do that. You can call Paul at the studio. You can even text him 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. Paul is in the WATD studio this morning, filling in for Tim. And any questions, just let us know. Feel free to call and just, yeah, if you want to just tell us about what your favorite celebrations were, any of that good stuff, let us know. All right. So why don't we start with Halifax?
Okay, so tonight, June 28th, Halifax is doing fireworks it's behind Halifax Elementary School,
Mm-hmm.
464 Plymouth Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to run from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. with a fireworks celebration coordinated by the Halifax Fireworks Committee. And some of the activities that they're providing are a DJ, food vendors, face painting, and much more.
Is that fun?
Very exciting. I don't think I've
So
ever been there.
yeah, me either.
I don't really go to fireworks like that.
I think I hear them. I think when they're going off, I can hear them because we're
Well, you
right
kind
on
of
the,
live close to
yeah, we're
that
on the, yeah,
area.
we're
Yeah.
close there. So we can sort of hear them. But I know May McNamara, who
Mm-hmm.
you know as well. She
Yes.
is my niece, I guess. She's married to Mark's nephew, so it makes her my niece.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she goes every year, and every year we were talking to them last night, and they popped over for a little bit, and they like to go, but every year it becomes a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. While I was online and I was just looking at this one, I also noticed that they're looking for volunteers to help tomorrow to help with a cleanup. So,
Oh.
and that's the thing is everybody is so busy. Let's go back to that whole thing that Paul even mentioned at the beginning about community, right? To
Mm-hmm.
put these things together is not easy.
No.
It is not an easy task. So you need, many hands make light work. So, uh,
Especially with certain things like what's happening in Quincy, for
mm,
example.
yeah, let's talk. Well, you want to jump down to Quincy? Where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, right here, Marina Bay. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Talk about that one.
So Quincy, to skip ahead,
Mhm.
is a 3-day event, 3-day event. It's
Wow,
at Marina Bay in Quincy. It's the Maritime Festival.
fun.
So happening on July 4th from 2 to 9 p.m., they'll have live music, balloon magic, sand sculptures, and a Revolutionary War reenactment happening at 3 p.m.
That sounds fun.
That'll be
That
interesting.
would be interesting, don't you
I don't
think?
think I've seen videos of it
Yeah,
definitely, but I've never seen that in person.
yeah, that would be fun to see.
And then July 5th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., there's a children's bike parade, a puppet show, drumline, performances by Matt Heaton and the Outside Toys, as well as the Sultans Band, and a light up boat display.
Oh, have you ever heard of those people?
Nope.
Okay, me either. But I'm sure they're great if they're going to be down there. And I bet you the light up boat display is probably awesome. I wonder if they do like a
Yes.
parade type thing with all the boats lit up because
They,
Marina
they
Bay.
so do. I feel like they definitely
Yeah.
would.
Yeah. That
They
sounds
should have
like
like
fun.
a prize or something.
Have you been down there to
To
Marina Bay?
No,
You
I
know,
haven't. We never
yeah.
go up that far. We
Yeah.
normally stay in like Duxbury, Plymouth area.
How old are you?
21.
21. Well, you can go down to Marina Bay. There's all kinds of
I can go anywhere
you
now.
can, yeah, there's a clubbing. Do you
Yeah.
still call it that? No.
Going out.
Going
Yeah,
out,
me and my
hanging out?
friends have hit up Plymouth a few weekends. Yeah. Now that we're able to do that.
Now that you can do that,
Yes.
exactly. You never did it before.
No.
Yes. So, but Marina Bay is fun. They have, I remember when I was growing up, a lot of times my best friend, May is listening. It's a great event, great fireworks. May, call in 781-837, 837-4900, 781-837-4900 when you're talking about Halifax. But my girlfriend Karen is always generally listening to, and we used to go to what they called the tent. I don't know. That was at Marina Bay. That was a lot of fun. I used to, Liv, if you could have seen me back in the day, I bet you we would have been friends because
Huge
do you like to
fire.
dance?
Oh, I love dancing.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'll dance anywhere.
My friends like never want to go on the dance floor.
Really?
Like my friends at school, they're like, "Oh, I just want to chill at this table, have a few drinks." And I'm
Really?
like, "No, let's hit the dance floor."
Hit the dance floor.
I was like, "I need to get my energy out before I crash and go to bed."
Yeah, like I got to tell you, like, yeah, I just give me a couple beats and I'm
I'm
all into
always
it.
moving and
Yeah,
swaying back and forth.
me
They
too.
probably think I look
Sometimes,
nuts.
like if I'm in a store and I can hear music and I find myself sort of dancing, which is, yeah, I love to do the dancing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My mom
I'll
would be like,
dance
"You need to
anywhere.
calm down." And I
Yeah,
was like, "I'm just having fun, man."
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do and be free.
Yeah.
My niece is one of my nieces is getting married this not this August 29th, which just happens to be me and Mike's anniversary as
It's
well.
my mom's birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Big day.
No, it is a huge day. Yes. So I'll never forget your mom's birthday
Nope,
now.
big 50.
Really? Oh
Yep.
boy. Wow, that's exciting for her.
I
Mark
know.
and I will be married 33 years.
Oh my
So yeah, so
gosh.
she was 17. Was it is that the math real quick? Yeah, when I got married.
Wow.
But what was my point of that? Oh, so my niece is getting married. Molly McNamara is getting married to Doug McKenna. They met at Casey's wedding in Greece. I mentioned this a couple
They
weeks
met
ago.
in Greece?
They met in Greece
That's nuts.
in Casey's wedding, and Doug missed his flight because of some situation that happened. It was right after COVID 3 years ago. He called his mom and he's like, "This ticket is so outrageous because I'm standing here." And she's like, "You got to do it." So he went and they were introduced. Casey, the bride, introduced Doug, her husband's friend, to Molly, and they're getting married August 29th. And
So she set them up.
yeah,
She was a little matchmaker.
little matchmaker
It
for
worked
sure.
out in her favor.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Thank God, right? But they're wonderful. I'm so happy for them. Doug is a wonderful, wonderful man, and Molly, of course, I love. And her sister got married last year in Belize, but Molly,
Oh.
yeah, but Molly is getting married down in Newport, and on her invitation it says, what song would get you up on the dance floor? And I said, so I was filling it out for me and Mark, like our RSVP, and I was like, you can play anything and I'll dance. And then when I was filling out Mark, like what he wanted to eat, and it said, what song will get you on the dance floor? Doesn't matter. Sharon will pull me on the dance floor. So there we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So anything else going on in Quincy? So lots of fun stuff. It looks like they're having a 3-day event there, the 4th to the 6th. So while they're
So on the 6th,
yeah,
from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., there's a decorated dinghy parade.
Yeah, fun.
Interesting.
I want to do that.
Then they have a Lexington Monument reenactment, a magic show, and then a performance by Ayla Brown.
Oh, Ayla Brown, isn't she?
The name's familiar.
Yeah, I think she was on
can't remember.
I think that she was on what are those shows?
Like
the singing ones, not The Voice,
like
but
America's Got Talent,
American Idol.
American Idol.
I think
with
she
Katy
was.
Perry.
I don't think she was on there with Katy Perry, but I think she was on there. And her dad was a senator or on Congress. He was something.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
in Massachusetts. Yep.
Oh, I
Mhm.
the name sounds familiar. I just can't remember where I know that name from.
And I think she was a radio DJ. Like,
Oh,
maybe like 102 point something or other,
she
like
could
one of
very
those
well be.
country, yeah, she was on one of those. She was a DJ. I shouldn't talk
It
about
gives a
other
country
radio
name.
stations. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Ayla. All right, perfect. So that's everything in Quincy.
Mhm.
Love to dance. Tracy Grady, she's my girl. I'll tell you. So Tracy Grady is a full time agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and her and her husband came out on the boat one time and with us for an overnight, and we had so much fun. And the music was on, and we
Good
were
vibes.
dancing, dancing. You don't know that song either. You're too young.
No.
Okay, perfect. All right, should we shoot back to Boston?
Yes.
Bye.
Boston's big.
Yeah,
So,
Boston. Go ahead.
Boston's on July 4th. It's the Hatch Shell Esplanade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
At 8 p.m., there's Boston Pops concert with Leanne Rhymes, Leslie Odom Jr. He played in Hamilton, the
Oh,
musical.
really?
Big Hamilton girl.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, I did not know that.
Mhm. Fun
I
fact.
would have been like, "Who's he?" I mean, I've heard of Leanne Rhymes, but
I
go
can't
ahead.
remember who he played, but and then Belle Biv DeVoe and many more.
Oh, have you heard of Belle Biv DeVoe?
No.
Yes, that's so funny, Tracy. I wish you were here with me right now. I'm sure Tracy has heard of them. I wish we had a song that we could play that they played, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe Paul can find us something there. And then, so that's going to be great. I got to tell you,
Mhm.
there's nothing like, it's a big deal in Boston, and it's always televised and everything,
Yeah.
so you can watch the fireworks. And I love how the music goes along with the fireworks. I mean, that
Mhm.
takes some actual planning. So that's always a really nice thing to watch.
Yeah. Well, the fireworks show is at 10:30 p.m.
It's sort of late, right?
That is kind of late. I feel like they normally start around 9,
Yeah.
9:30, so they're done by 10:30.
Yeah. Mm.
But then the MBTA is having $10 unlimited travel pass all day long.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, that'll be good for people trying to take the train in.
And it probably will save some time where people aren't like shuffling for coins. I don't, do
Oh,
they
I'm
even
sure
use coins anitmore? Probably not, but
oof, I don't even know if they have a coin thing at
yeah.
the train station, if I'm being honest. I
I
always
don't
just
think
put in my debit card.
yeah, so that shows you how old I am. Oh my god, I'm dying right now because it's
Yeah,
like
back to
suddenly I real
everything's digital.
yeah. But it's nice that they'll have, all day. You can travel unlimited throughout Boston, maybe, go to Boston Common, go different places. I'm sure that they're going to have little events throughout the city,
Oh, yeah.
for different things to do, but certainly down by the Charles and down by the Hatchell, the Esplanade down there. It's definitely crowded. I would definitely go online and look and see what some of the requirements are, because I'm sure, like with bags and things like that, I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to like if you went to a concert or something.
Yeah, so, like, little tiny purses would probably be best.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we went to a concert last year or maybe the year before. I think Casey was with me, and we were at the concert, and she just had, it's sort of like they used to call them a fanny pack. I don't know what they're
Belt
called now.
bags.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
and,
The
um,
Lululemon ones.
the Lululemon
Mhm.
ones,
The
right?
belt bags.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let her in with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess because it's not clear.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
They're very picky about that, I
yeah.
would say.
I'm like,
They have
can't
to
you
have,
just
like
look in it?
I know, every time I go to Fenway for a Red Sox game, I'm always like, "Is my purse gonna get
Mm-hmm.
taken? Is it gonna work? Like, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen?" And I was
So
like, "I don't want my purse to be taken."
she had to leave it on the side. Yeah. I was
Oh,
not
heck
happy about,
no.
yeah. I know. So definitely make sure you do some research if you are going into the city. I mean, if you've never done it, definitely something to do. I'm sure that there is going to be a lot of security and different things that you're going to have to go through.
Mhm.
My big thing down there, that I'm sure they'll have porta potties all over the place, but sort of plan out your day and where you're going to be, and how you're going to maneuver all of that stuff if you're heading into Boston.
Yeah, Boston's always crazy for
Yeah.
any event.
It really is, but it's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I love Boston. I love, when you look, I mean,
I love the city,
me too. Casey lives in the
just in
city.
general.
I just want to
That's
live in the
right, she
city.
does.
Yeah, she lives in the South End. It's really nice there. And um what was I gonna say? Mark and I'd love to go to the North End. So when we're like on Hanover Street, there's one little restaurant that we like. We always sit at the window and you can see it's so cool. You can see the Freedom Trail right there.
Yeah, it's so cute. And Mike's Pastries around there.
Yeah. Well, we don't even go to Mike's Pastry. We go to one, I don't even know the name of it, but Ben Affleck did a movie recently and they actually took over this little bakery down the street. It's on the corner of where the church is. And Mike's Pastries here, then the church is
Mm-hmm.
here. It's down that street.
Oh.
Yeah, so go down there.
I have a friend who lives right on that street in the North End.
Yeah, fun, right?
Yeah, she lives right next to the restaurants.
Yeah.
So she's become friends with a lot of like the owners and the waiters and the
Yeah.
bartenders. So
Yeah.
they just go in and
They always have a seat.
at
She
a
always
deal.
have a seat.
Yes.
Awesome. So where are we now? 8:44 already. Again, you're listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Today has nothing to do with real estate. We're going to just we have a lot to go through. So we're going to speed it up a little bit here.
Okay.
Let's go to Braintree. What's going on in Braintree?
Happening today, June 28th at Braintree High School. At 11:45 a.m., there's a Stars and Stripes parade. I actually think this is considered Braintree Day.
Oh,
That
okay.
they're also doing.
Yeah.
At 4, there'll be a festival with food trucks, a petting zoo, airbrush tattoos, and some inflatables. And also at 4 p.m., there's performances from the Band with No Name. At 6:30, Pink Houses. It's a John Mellencamp tribute.
Huh. You don't know who he is either.
No idea. Nope. Nope. At 5 p.m., there's a water balloon contest. At 6, there's a pie eating contest. And then at 7, there's a wiffle ball home run derby. And then finally, to end off the night, at 9:30 p.m., there's fireworks.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, think about that. That's sort of fun. A wiffle ball home run derby.
That'll be good for the kids.
Pie eating contest. I can already imagine what that looks like with blueberry all over people's face. So lots to do in Braintree. All right, bring us down to Randolph.
Randolph, July 3rd. There's a parade at 7 p.m. from Higashi School to Crawford Square. I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And then at 9 p.m., there'll be fireworks at Randolph High School.
All right, awesome. Here's a fun fact. I actually lived in Randolph when I was younger as well. So my parents owned a store in Dorchester. And so I was born there. And then when I turned 5, my parents moved to Randolph. Actually, one of my good friends lived across the street from me. She's actually Mackenzie's godmother. And then when I was in 5th grade, they moved back to Dorchester. And then when I was a junior in high school, they moved to West Bridgewater. That's a lot, right?
Yeah, that is a lot.
So when I hear people say, well, I don't want to disrupt the kids, I was like, they're in preschool.
Yeah.
Like they're never going to remember it. I turned out okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not perfect, for sure. I definitely
You're doing pretty good, I would say.
It was the junior high school one that sort of, when I was a junior in high school, that's the one that bothered me the most.
Yeah.
But
well, high school sucks anyway. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, I bet. A lot of people feel that way right now about high school. I wonder why. I wonder what the difference is.
People are mean, I guess.
Yeah, I think, right. Maybe it all goes back to social media.
Yeah,
and
high school girls are brutal, I would say. I was pretty bad myself.
You were?
I was miserable.
Do you have regret?
Not regret, but I definitely.
Were you mean to people?
No.
Okay.
I was just.
That's the vibe I was just picking up on.
No.
It wasn't you that was mean?
No.
Were people mean to you?
Yeah.
I'll go get them. You tell me. Give me their name.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
No. I was only kidding. And I'm glad you picked up on that. So, yeah, but I wonder if, as the mean girls get older, if they understand, the impact that they potentially had on somebody and how they made them feel.
I hope so. I definitely grew up a ton in college, so
yeah,
that's more my speed.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I'm so happy for you, Liv.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you. All right, perfect. Let's go down to Weymouth.
Okay, Weymouth happening on July 3rd at George Lane and
Wessagusset
Beach. Never heard of that.
Yeah.
From 5 to 10:30 p.m. There's a beach party.
That sounds fun.
That'll be fun. There's live music from the new band.
The name of these bands is fun. Like, well, I don't know, not fun, but interesting. I wish Tracy was here with me because she would have a ball with all this stuff with me. But the new band,
style.
And then what the other band up there was like a band with no name. It's like these bands don't have names anymore. It's like the new band.
That's cool.
the new band. Like, come up with a name, like
something
Rolling Stones. Like something, right?
Yeah, that's iconic.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's gonna be a little tough to advertise if you don't have that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, band with no name.
Yeah, I know.
Far that's gonna go.
I know.
So at 9:30 p.m. there's fireworks, and
Mm-hmm.
then for traffic purposes, they have shuttle buses from McCall
McCulloch?
McCulloch Building and Whipple Center.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, that's fun. So if you're in Weymouth or if you're in that area, lots of fun things to do there too.
Mm.
You can go see the new band. I wonder, John Shea does something. I bet you if John Shea was on here, I bet you he would know some of these bands because does he still do a piece on like local bands?
That's almost famous with John Shea. He sure enough does.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wish that John Shea, if you're listening right now, could you call in? Could you let us know about these bands? Because I'm sure that they're wonderful because they're out there. You know what I mean? They're doing pretty
Yeah.
big events. I mean, 4th of July is a big event.
I wonder what style of music they do.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like, well, and you really can't tell because the
No.
new band could be anything.
It's
And the
so
band with no name,
yeah.
yeah. The band with no name sounds like a song to me more than a name of a band. Okay, that was my 5-minute bell, but 10-minute bell. Okay, let's go. Cohasset.
Okay,
Now we're
Cohasset.
getting closer to home here.
July 2nd at Sandy Beach. At 6 p.m. they have DJ and food trucks, and then at 9:15 there's fireworks. And then there's also shuttle buses from the high school and Cohasset Commons.
I think that that's really good because they're thinking ahead of all the traffic
Oh,
and
we have a
everything.
caller.
Oh, we do. Hello, caller.
Someone with a little bit of information about what's going on right now in Hanover.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let's hear about it. Who do we have as a
Let's
caller?
let's throw him on.
Okay.
Hey,
You
you
got Dick
there?
from Hanover Historical. Yeah, we have the 35th annual Hanover Days today from 11 to 5. It's at Sylvester Field, across from the town hall, and also have the Hudson House going on, as well as vendors and food and a carnival. So come to the Stetson House and Sylvester Field today. It's a little damp right now, but it's going to be all right.
And
In
can
the
you
car and come down.
to my caller, what is your name?
I'm Dick from Hanover Historical. I'll be at the
Okay.
Stetson House, and we're going to be doing caricatures if you're interested in having your own picture done by a trained artist from
Oh,
11 to 2.
11 to 2 on that. All right. So you were a little
Yeah,
broken up at the beginning. So I want you to just start over.
okay.
So tell us about Hanover Day. It's the 35th Hanover Day.
Today's the day. Yeah, we want to see as many people as possible at Sylvester Field. There's vendors, food, rides, carnival rides, and vendors galore. You can also come to the Stetson House. We have an open house there today from 11 to 3, and you can get your caricature drawn by David Griffin, trained
David
artist,
Griffin.
does
Perfect.
caricatures.
And what is the full time of Hanover Day? Does it start? Is it 11 to 3? So that's the full time today.
11 to 3, yes.
All right. Well,
And
perfect.
they may be going on further, not sure,
Yeah, it
over
matters, right? You're
still.
not going to kick anybody out if they still want to have a tour, right?
They'll want to come. Yes, come on over.
All
Yeah,
right. Well, that's perfect. So you're part of the Historical Society, which is,
yeah.
I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show. And I was saying, I was doing some research last night and the history of, the 4th of
Mm-hmm.
July. How is it that I never
Mm-hmm.
knew that it was like that everything was, the Declaration of Independence was actually signed on July 2nd? Is that something
Well,
new?
it took a while to get things signed.
Okay.
States, some states were rather reluctant at the time to sign, but we eventually got everything signed and sealed.
Perfect. So, well, Liv, my little host here with me today, we decided that we're really happy that it ended up being the 4th of July because it sounds so much better than the 2nd of July. Do you agree?
Fourth, yes, the fourth is a good day. We'll look forward to that coming
It
up.
certainly
All
is.
all
Well, thank
your
you.
other activities.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And again, Hanover Day is today from 11 to 3. You can go over to Sylvester Field and then over to the Stetson House, and they're going to have all kinds of fun things to do over there today. So even though it's a little cloudy today, the sun is going to be shining this afternoon. So make sure you get a chance to go right over to Hanover, nice and close, and things to do. And it's sort of like the warm up show for July.
Mhm.
I don't know if he must have hung up. All right, so perfect. So that's great. So we have Hanover Day. All right, we're back to Cohasset. We already talked about, right?
Mhm.
Hingham. What's going on in Hingham? So Hingham, big. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in
Mhm.
Hingham, right? So go ahead. What's going on there?
So starting at 7 a.m. on the 4th, there's a road race.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 10, there's a parade from Hingham High to Station Street. And the theme of said parade is building brighter futures.
I love
I think they're
that.
doing a contest actually on who is the best float.
Oh yeah,
Hmm
yeah.
I
That's
think I read
awesome.
that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I know I took some of your notes and threw them in here, so I'm not sure if all your notes are there, but I'm glad that you're remembering some of that. So
Some of them, yeah.
definitely shoot over there. And then Duxbury, we're gonna have to speed it up a little bit here.
Duxbury, 2 p.m. on July 4th, parade from Hall's Corner to Duxbury Middle and High School. And they also have prizes for best floats.
Oh, fun. Now we get down to Plymouth. Plymouth is a big one.
It is
We've
a
been
big
to
one.
this. Yeah, that
So
again, a lot of people.
July 4th at 7:30 a.m. they have the 10th annual 5K where you can register at southshorerace.com.
Mhm.
At 9 a.m. there's a parade from
Cottage.
Cordage Park down Route 30A 3A
Mhm.
and Court Street.
Mhm.
Food truck from Mom on the Go at Alden Park. She's so good.
Mm.
Her grilled cheeses are really good.
Really?
Mhm.
All right, that's worth
Unbeatable.
trying.
7:30 p.m. the Plymouth Philharmonic concert at Pilgrim Memorial State Park. And then ending the day at 9 p.m. with fireworks. And then they also have paid parking because roads close by 8 a.m.
All right. And it's interesting is Pilgrim Memorial State Park. I believe that's where May and Chris got married. So if she's still listening, I think it's
Oh,
that little
really?
park
They got
that,
married in Plymouth? I
yeah,
did
they
not
got
know
married. Yeah,
that.
outside. Yeah, they did. And it seems like a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Bridgewater, we have lots of stuff going on there. So what's
Mhm.
going on?
July 4th again, 10 a.m. parade from Bridgewater State University. From 10 to 3 p.m., there's an arts and music festival at the Bridgewater State University Quad. They'll have a roaming railroad, balloon twisting, body art, and Chinese cultural displays
Hmm.
with live performances from Matt Putnam and Izzy Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., they have a free art show and contests. And then for parking, they have, I believe it's free parking at Sullivan Tire, Fisher Family Dentistry,
Mm-hmm.
Williams Intermediate, and the Onyx and Rouge Plaza.
Perfect, perfect. And then with Eggertown, I put a little of this in here just because I love the vineyard, and I just wanted to go a little bit further because I know a lot of people are heading over to the vineyard and Nantucket. 4th of July, they're going to have a parade at 5 p.m., 7:30 at Vineyard Haven, band concert, 9 p.m. The fireworks out on Eggertown Harbor, and that's where I will be floating around watching the fireworks. If you go to Aquina, July 4th, they also are going to have a decorated float parade at 10 a.m. and Vineyard Haven, July 4th. They're going to have 2 p.m. ringing of the freedom bells. So lots of different things to do. And then I just wanted to talk about, and I have to do some open houses, but honorable mention South Shore Summer Highlights. We just talked about Hanover, what's going on, so we don't have to repeat that. Levitate Music and Art Festival, July 12th and 13th at the Marshfield Fairgrounds. They're going to be having performances by Sublime, Mount Joy, and Lake Street Dive, and art vendors, food trucks, blah, blah, blah. And Marshfield Fair comes up, of course, August 15th to 24th. I put in some things that like I was familiar with that I have done with my kids when they were younger. Pembroke now has a farmers market that's every Saturday until October 4th, 10 to 1 p.m. And that's right behind our new community center in Pembroke Center. So make sure you check out the farmers market. Keep it local and shop local. And then the Situate Carnival is coming up. That's always so much fun. That's July 8th through the 12th at Cole Parkway Marina. They have rides and games, and they also have fireworks that go on July 11th and 12th at 10 p.m. Again, we used to keep our boat down there, so we were always part of those fireworks. We could just hang on the bow of our boat and look up and see all of those. There's free admission, but there's a mega pass for $40, 45 on site. And then Situate Heritage Days, another big day, August 2nd to the 3rd in Situate Harbor, live music. There's all kinds of arts and crafts and different things to do. You can go over to the Situate Lighthouse and stuff. And it is so much fun. I have to tell you, they have some great bands that also play there. And I want to say that um, I, I can't remember his name, but anyways, a lot of famous people have shown up there. Okay, I was going to say James Taylor, but it wasn't James Taylor. So I know Mark will remember. He's in the other room. So So that's everything that we have going on. So good job, Liv. Thanks so much for putting that all together for
Oh,
us.
of course. I had fun.
One thing I do want to tell you, we have a lot of open houses this weekend. So 54 Elizabeth Road in Milford, that is being listed by Sue Bollinger. That's today, 12 to 2. We also have 86 Pioneer Trail, Mary Baker, well, Mary Horton, actually, my team member will be there today, 11:30 to 1:30. 2 Fontana Way in Bridgewater. That's Team Flynn. They'll be there today, 11 to 1. 575 First Parish Street in Situate. Matt Mahoney has a listing there. He'll be there today from 10 to 12. And today I will be in 2 different places. So I'm going to be at 599 Washington Street, Unit 1 in Pembroke. Adorable little condo that I have. I'll be there 1 to 3 today. And then Cochise, of course, every Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 in West Bridgewater. And then 10 to 12, Cushing Trails in Hanson. I'll be there today, 10 to 12. Someone will be there tomorrow, 10 to 12. So I hope that you can visit us. You can always go to bostonconnect.com. There's also one tomorrow in New Bedford. 48 Rockcliffe Street in Fall River, and that's with Sam Horton, 11 to 12:30. Go to bostonconnect.com. I also have this as a blog, so if you missed all of the events going on, go to the blog at bostonconnect.com, and you'll see Stars, Stripes, and the South Shore. Have a wonderful 4th of July, everybody. Liv, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you'll come again.
Oh, I'd love to.
All
This is
right,
fun.
perfect. Bye, Paul. Have a great day.
Take care. See you next time.
Okay, bye-bye. I couldn't hear my
The South Shore's
That
first
was
choice
thrown
for
in there.
live team coverage
You
of
didn't hear
breaking news,
Usually
emergency
my
traffic, and
theme
severe
song
weather.
plays, but I don't
95.9 WATD FM
It was
Marshfield
very
and
faint.
95.9 WATD.com.